So let's talk about the eternal dum-dum, king dumbass of them all. Yes, I'm talking about Stu Block from Canada, formerly of Iced Earth, then and now vocalist of Into Eternity, and has worked with fellow Canadians Annihilator. Quote, he fucked up real bad. Unquote. Iced Earth singer on Jon Schaffer storming the U.S. Capitol. So before I get into this, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way so you can hate me, like me, or have nothing to do with me. I support Jon Schaffer with all my little black heart and soul. He did nothing wrong. I don't think that. I fucking know it. On top of that, he was hit with 6 charges. He only got 2 charges. One for trespassing, because, yeah, he was trespassing. And interrupting, basically, congressional work, which, yeah, he and everybody else that went into the Capitol did that. It doesn't matter that they had the doors open for them by the Capitol Police. It doesn't matter that they were escorted in as if they were going on tour. It doesn't matter that since then Nancy Pelosi has taken accountability for the fact that she didn't send in the National Guard when then President Trump requested it. January 6th is the boogie tale that the left tell themselves now, and they run with it. Well, we're going to talk about the weak-ass, spineless piece of shit that is Stu Block. Continuing on, he fucked up real bad. I think somebody with half a brain knows it. Well, since Stu has no brain, how he can talk about someone with half a brain seems to be he's talking about people above his pay grade. Ex-Iced Earth singer Stu Block said of Schaffer's involvement in storming the U.S. Capitol. Storming the U.S. Capitol. You get that? Storming. Like the beaches of Normandy. It was like that. What would you equate what happened on January 6th? Would you equate it to the BLM riots that caused over 24 deaths, millions of dollars of damage across the United States, resulting in numerous court cases, arrest, and free? Would you equate it to that? These mostly peaceful riots? No. It looked like, when you look at the January 6th footage, honestly, it looks like when old people get out of turn at Piccadilly on Sunday because there's not enough food at the buffet. But let's continue on. This is from Danica Baker. This is from August 8th, 2021. Now, the reason I'm posting this, and the story is kind of old, is because a fellow Iced Earth fan, he had posted that picture up there it was altered a bit to look more appropriate for Mr. Block. But I had never read this article, so I figured I'd share it with you now. Ex-Iced Earth vocalist Stu Block has spoken about his former bandmate Jon Schaffer's involvement in storming the U.S. Capitol earlier this year, saying he fucked up real bad. Quote, we all make bad decisions, man. And he fucked up real bad. And I'm sure he knows it. And I think everybody with half a brain knows it, Block said while appearing on The Metal Voice. The fucking Metal Voice. Give me a break. Block continued, the line that was crossed was going in and all that kind of stuff. He had so much going on. It's a shame. On January 6, 2021, a group of pro-Trump members stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to protest against Trump's defeat as U.S. president. Schaffer was photographed at the riot. On January 17th, he was arrested for his involvement. Yeah, I mean, he was photographed at the riot, and Metal Sucks and all these other shitty websites made sure that the government knew exactly who he was. Schaffer was originally charged with 6 crimes in relation to the Capitol riot, and he has pled guilty to 2 because he and nearly everybody else was guilty. Not feloniously guilty, but guilty of the 2. The 2 charges he pleaded guilty to are obstruction of an official proceedings of Congress and trespassing on restricted grounds of the Capitol while armed with a deadly or dangerous weapon, i.e. bear mace. The musician admitted to carrying bear spray into the Capitol as he and others stormed the building. Never used it, but he carried it. Despite Schaffer's involvement in the violent attack on the Capitol, Block has said that rather than hating his former bandmate, he feels sad about the situation. Quote, at the end of the day, I don't hate him. I'm not writhing in hate for him. I feel sad. I feel bad that everything that went down the way it did. Maybe one day we'll talk. Maybe one day he'll kick you in your vagina. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I think he knows that I still have a place in my heart for him because I've seen that man do a lot of amazing, wonderful things for people. But I just want to move on, and that's what it is. Yeah, he wasn't on board with it, people. Stu Block, I got to tell you, he warned Jon Schaffer that, man, going down to the Capitol on the 6th is something you want to do. Nope, wait. I may have that wrong. From Metal Sucks. But it's an earlier message Block posted, which he later deleted, that's more damning. Writing on his personal Facebook page on Wednesday, January 6th, the day of the riots, he said, quote, "Oh, it's happening. History in the making. Sending love to my friends in the U.S. and all over the world," as Block is Canadian. When a fan asked, "Are you condemning what happened today, Stu?" he replied, "And where in my statement would you get that impression?" And where in my statement would you get that impression? Since that time, a number of people have commented a screenshot of the above exchange on Stu's other Facebook posts, and not only have those comments been promptly deleted, but the user who posted them have been banned from Stu's page. Multiple people have reported this behavior to Metal Sucks. One of them, Chris B, tells us, quote, "I'm fucking pissed. I've been a fan for a long time, both of Iced Earth and Stu, since he was into eternity. It's bad enough what Jon did, but to try and sweep at least Stu's condoning it under the rug is just upsetting. I'm so fucking done with Iced Earth and Stu Block," unquote. And you know what? That's his prerogative. If you don't like what Jon did, even though his politics should be no fucking surprise, if you've ever listened to the lyrics of his fucking songs, and especially paid attention to Sons of Liberty, it should come as no surprise. But even then, 3 years on, now that we're actually past it, now that we're actually on the other side of it, you know as well as I do that the January 6th narrative is as fucking fake as Star Wars Episode 4 back in 1977. It's bullshit. It's fucking fantasy. Following the incident, Stu Block issued a statement on behalf of Iced Earth. On behalf of Iced Earth. Stu Block on behalf of Iced Earth. Does that make fucking sense to anyone? Saying that they do not condone the riots. Fuck you. Stu Block has no fucking right to speak on the behalf of Iced Earth. Stu Block, the least of the singers of Iced Earth, not just because he's a thumb dick cuck. No, Gene had his own style. John Greeley, technically one of the best fucking singers he ever had. What he did on Stormrider cannot be touched. Matt Barlow, how do you not love Matthew fucking Barlow? How do you not love everything he brought? The warmth, the lament when he does a ballad to Iced Earth. And of course, Tim Ripper fucking Owens, who I wished would have ended up with Iced Earth on a more permanent basis. And as much as I love John, John was high on his own farts when he fucking told Tim Owens that he was going to teach him how to be a better lead singer on stage, to have a better stage presence. He was the lead singer of Judas fucking Priest. But you see, that's the problem. John had gone so long with things going so well that he thought he couldn't make a bad move. And on top of that, he made a series of fucking bad moves. Something Wicked Part 2, he brings in Matthew Barlow, only for Matthew Barlow to not stay. So he has to go get out a Matthew Barlow impersonator in the guise of tiny little Sons of Anarchy cosplayer, Stu Block. What a fucking tool Stu Block is. I hate that John went down that route. I really do. The way he dismissed Tim was wrong. It was wrong on every account, and those that we admire, those that we care for, everyone makes mistakes. And John made his mistake when it came not to the January 6th situation, but the way he handled the situation with Tim Owens. Tim Owens saw it was going sideways. Wendy Dio saw it was going sideways. But John was in that untouchable phase, and it's too bad. It really is. Quote, "Some of you have been concerned by our silence, which we understand. We needed some time to properly process the information and find out some facts before we made a statement. First and foremost, we absolutely do not condone nor do we support riots or the acts of violence that the rioters were involved in on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol building. We hope that all of those involved that day are brought to justice to be investigated and answered for their actions. Block posted on his personal Instagram account. I mean, this thumb dick cocksucker. What a piece of shit. He folded so fast. Jesus. So much for brothers, right? So much for brothers. On February 15th, 2021, Block, bassist Luke Appleton, and guitarist Jake Dreyer all resigned from the band. As of now, the only remaining members of Iced Earth are Jon Schaffer and drummer Brent Smedley. And to this day, Brent Smedley is still considered the drummer of Iced Earth, and God bless him. Never turned his back on Jon. Based on what I'm seeing, I mean, there should be another Trump presidency, and Trump will pardon the January 6th. If he's not made president, there is going to be no question in anybody's mind, even on the left, that the election was rigged and it was stolen. So I'm not hiding my feelings about it. I think the world of Jon Schaffer. Jon Schaffer has done a lot more good than he has bad, and he's barely done any bad. He did not do anything wrong on January 6th, with the exception of believing that he would be treated fairly. It makes me sick to my stomach, the cowardice of Stu Block. And honestly, Hansi Kirsch of Blind Guardian. Jon had a band with him, I'm sure you know, called Demons and Wizards. And Hansi turned his back on his friend of 20 years based on what other people were saying. Hansi couldn't have been surprised. And now, 3+ years separate, he can realize that he was told lies. I don't know if we'll ever see another Iced Earth, to be honest, because the name has been so tainted by lies and by misrepresentation. I mean, he could definitely do something that's purgatory, without a doubt. But I really hope we get to see Jon free, and honestly, anybody involved in the January 6th situation, I hope that they are freed. If not now, soon, and if not soon, when Donald Trump becomes the 47th president of the United States. I loathe Stu Block. I'd never cared. I mean, I like the albums that he's on, but the least of all because of him, because I saw him as Matt Barlow light. And I know that's what Jon wanted back. He wanted Matt back, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. Stu Block is a piece of shit, garbage individual. There's no going back. If Jon takes him back, that's on Jon. And I'll still support Jon. I've had guys who've broken up with girls who've gotten back with those girls only for it to bite them in the ass. And if Jon reunites with Stu, that's the only way I see it going. But anyway, this is just me venting on Stu Block. You know, Luke and Jake, fuck them, I don't give shoe shits one way or the other. But Stu, he has a lot to say for saying absolutely fucking nothing. Later.